Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, going to be a match from Katowice 2022. It's going to be Serral versus Maru here on Hardwire. Top right, we've got Serral. Bottom left, we've got Maru. Two of the most incredible players I've ever seen in StarCraft 2. They don't play each other in the Elite Playoffs, but the stars aligned, and here they are from Katowice 2022. Scouting for proxies, and maybe scouting with the drone for proxies. Nope. Serral doesn't respect Maru's game that much, at least his proxy game. And what looks like a Reaper expand based on that gas timing, 16, 18, 17. Very normal timings here for both of these players. They do respect each other, especially in the mid game and the late game. And I kind of feel like if Serral doesn't forget adrenal glands, as he did 3 times in 2021, he has a pretty good chance of defeating Maru here today. Anyhow, hit that like button if you're excited for Serral versus Maru. I know that I am. Holy smokes, it is a rare treat for these two players to meet inside of, again, a premier tournament. An elite tournament. Everybody who's anybody was at Katowice, except for Max Bax, because he's too young. He's 17 years old. Next year, I feel like he is going to be there. He is very, very good at Protoss, and Protoss need a Protoss hope. So a little bit of spoilers for Katowice. It wrapped up a week ago, but anyway, 0 Protoss in the semifinals, just Zergs and Terrans galore, and just 1 Terran. Man, it is the time of the Zerg right now, that is for sure. I know it's hard for players below this level to handle Sky Toss, but man, Serral, Raynor, Dark, and Rogue sure know how to, and sure makes it look weak. But those of us who play on ladder as Zerg say, please nerf Sky Toss. But as long as this keeps happening, I don't think we're getting our wish, and I feel like that's fair. Balance for the highest level, and that's about it. That's about all that you can do. There are rumors of a balance patch coming out for StarCraft 2 sometime around now. Maybe it's already happened in the last week or so, but that would be interesting. Microsoft did buy Blizzard Activision, obviously, so that should be, I don't know, it increases the chances we get one. I don't think Activision had any interest in putting any money towards StarCraft at all. Does Microsoft? Maybe, and that's the thing. Do I think that's what's going to happen? I wouldn't put money on it, but it's more than a 0 chance, which is what Activision is all about. So, anyway, creep spread happening here. Third base coming in from Serral. Let me know in the comments, what do you think a good balance patch should be? Alchemy, one of my longtime subscribers and somebody in my Discord server too, he just wants Dark Templars to be buffed. He wants them to be better. And I kind of probed him about that. Well, what exactly do you want them to be better about? And I don't think he had a real answer for me, but it's like, I don't know, they're pretty good. They're pretty quick, especially with DT Blink. They can get out of danger fairly quickly. They hit hard. They're squishy, like maybe making them a little tankier, but at the same time, they hit hard, man. It's tough. It's really, really tough for me to think of a way to make Dark Templar better. But Overlord, ooh, gets that speed upgrade. So good. Metabolic boost finishing. We've got a Medevac out. We've got a Viking on the way. And a couple Hellions kind of hiding in this gas a little bit. In this little smoke vent here among the electricity and upon the electronics on this map, Hardwire. This is the ESL version of the map. I don't know what changes they made to it to make it different from the regular ladder version or the Team Liquid map contest version, but whatever. It's all good. I mean, that Overlord is dead because there's a Viking coming out. Oh, I guess that Overlord needs to die first. Yeah, even if you have speed, Vikings outspeed you there, friendo. And then this one back here is running for his little life. Run! Run. Ooh. We get a fusion core out of Mars. Is this battle cruiser? It is. It's got to be. Tech Lab on the starport. He doesn't have enough gas for it yet. Now he does. And it is a battle cruiser. Yes. Mars going BC against Serral here. I love it, man. We have seen so much battlecruiser play on the channel in the last week or so. If you haven't been watching the replays I posted in StarCraft 2 on the channel last week, you probably should if you're a battlecruiser fan. Because, I mean, we got what? That was an amazing Clem versus, was it Showtime game? Mana. Clem versus Mana game where there were battlecruisers involved. I mean, and then there was another one too that came up. Can't remember exactly who they were. But it's definitely battlecruiser play. Oh, it was Dream. I think it was a Dream game where he went battlecruisers too. So, holy smokin' Zola. I mean, look at this. We're going to get battlecruisers. We're going to get a ZVT here. We're going to see how Serral handles this mech play as another factory comes up. More Hellion production. He's got a handful of Marines. Sure. But that is definitely a factory, and that is definitely a factory, and this is definitely mech on the way from our Terran player Maru right now. So, how's Serral going to handle this? Well, let's take a look. Let's see what he has in the production tab. Getting a Spire just now. Okay, so we just started that. He feels like he's going to need Corruptors, maybe Mutalisks of some kind. Battlecruiser shows up. There's already 4 Queens in the main and 9 Queens out on the field. So this really, I mean, shouldn't really get any drone kills or honestly Queen kills of any kind. Transfuse count is too high. No, does get a Queen there. Not able to get a Transfuse off. A little bit low on the energy here. And look at this, focusing individual drones down, not focusing. This is beautiful micro. This is sick micro out of Maru for sure. And he pulls back to the area where he can go ahead and teleport home when he's on off that cooldown. So Hellion's coming up the left side. We've got Marines on the right side. Again, they don't have any upgrades because we're not really making Marines in this game. It's just a handful early on to stay alive. And oh my gosh, they're going to force a cancel on this base while the Hellions are distracting everybody on the left side. Oh, they are going to force a cancel on Serral's 4th base. Fantastic. On the other, the Hellions stay alive. They roast up a bunch of Zerglings. That's beautiful play. Maru's doing great here in the early stages. He really hasn't lost much at all. By that I mean 1 Marine and 2 Hellions. Not really much whatsoever. This guy can teleport home. He doesn't have the cooldown off quite yet. He's working on it. Serral making additional overlords. He's maybe, yeah, really trying to get this 4th base back and rolling too. Really annoying to get that canceled just by a handful of fully unupgraded Marines. That's really embarrassing, man. No upgrades at all. Working on +1/+1 for the mech units right now. Yes. Ooh, getting a Cyclone out. Some Mutalisks in production now from Serral. Got some Hellbats out. Loving that play from them. We're going to wait for the +1. No. This is just a regular old Hellbat Marine style attack. There are some Banelings here. So here they come. Just kidding. They're hanging back a little bit. They're actually, what are they doing? I guess the Queens alone can handle this because this is so many Queens. There's 11 Queens out on the field right now. I mean, there's that one that died, and we're still at 11. Ling's rolling into the 3rd base of Maru, but there's a battlecruiser here to defend, so like that really shouldn't do a whole lot. Battlecruiser jumped home, got a repair, called it a day. I mean, what, 3 drones have died so far today, and a Queen, a bunch of Zerglings, but that's pretty normal. Pretty par for the course, and now Serral's trying to make Mutas work. Really trying hard to make Mutalisks work in this position, intriguingly enough. But then there's Cyclones down here, and I mean, Cyclones are a bit problematic for Mutas. They do back out. Did any of them die? No, none of them died. Tissue regeneration will heal them up quite nicely, the ones that need it anyway. Not that they're out of combat. You can see that number creeping up, 61, 62, very fast. Very quick. Roach Warren coming in, going for centrifugal hooks. Working on a +1 flyer attack for those Mutalisks. Yamato, Blue Flame, Widow Mines, another battle cruiser, Maru. Kind of doing a bit of that everything mech style that we've seen from him in the past. It's not very common. It's not often very used, but it does show up from time to time. Battle cruisers, Hellbats, Hellions, Widow Mines, Siege Tanks. I mean, what else do you need for your mech, right? Did I say Cyclones? Definitely Cyclones are part of this. I'm killing a Creep Tumor. The Queens are here to fight along with the Mutas. Not a bad combination. Mutas fighting. Oh, transfusing the Mutas as they fight. Allowing the Spore Crawler, but again, target firing drones. And then, gets a jump out there. Very, very close. That, 17 HP on that battle cruiser. He almost goes down, but pulls back home to get repaired up. Loving that stuff. Ling's knocking down rocks in the middle of the map for additional attack pass for those Zerglings for sure. Changeling checking to make sure there aren't any bases down around this bottom right. Very happy to see that there aren't. But Maru is taking a 4th base now, whereas Serral already has a 5th base rolling here at 9 minutes and is maxed out. Maru's at 176, which is fairly normal, right? Fairly normal for a ZVT. Especially if it's mech, right? For the mech to take a little bit longer to get rolling, but they can turtle up and really make it hard for the Zerg player to break it. Oh, a few swarm hosts. A handful of smattering of swarm hosts from Serral here, yes? Yeah, it's just a smattering. Everything's fine. So here's the thing. A lot of Zerg players in this situation will rely heavily on swarm hosts. It'll be like 20 or 30 swarm hosts. But no, it's 12 swarm... Okay, 14 swarm hosts, 22 Banes, a bunch of Mutalisks here too. Banelings crushing on through. Not really a lot for them to find purchase on. The Marines will take bonus damage and so will the SCVs, but... And the Hellions too, I suppose, will take bonus from those Banelings, but everything else is just not worried about Banes all that much, right? Yeah, coming up, trying to pick off some of these swarm hosts while they're on their cooldown because, good golly, they're just nothing but taking up supply for Serral when they're in this situation. And again, another group, swarm host lands down, trying to kill a sensor tower. Great, got a sensor tower, got a missile turret under construction. Everything's fine. That's all you really need here, right? Serral's just finding little bits of damage here and there, trying to keep Maru in the dark, but of course, Comsat exists, so that's not going to work out as well. And then these queens pushing forward into tank fire, though. I don't know if they want to be doing that. But if they take the tank fire and allow these locusts to get just a tiny bit of damage, any damage at all is good damage for those locusts because it's free. Maru trying to go for a 5th base up along this right side. Banelings. I don't know what you guys are... I mean, I guess maybe you can take down this planetary, assuming you don't get great tank fire. That's a lot of Banelings just to hang out. But we're just going to... Okay, we're just going to roll it. We're going to roll it in. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep those Banelings rolling. Tank fire says, get out of here. But no, there's too many. Too many Banes. They're going to kill this tank, too. Planetary down. Oh, no. Siege tank lives, but then the mutas come in and finish it off. Do they? They do. The mutas come in to clean it out, finish it off. Small attack of Locust along this way. It doesn't do a whole lot, right? We still have a siege tank here. He's got 5 kills. Everything's fine. 8 kills on that Thor. The mutas are just making a fly through their turrets. They're trying to destroy, but they're taking Yamato shots to the face, too. Muta count is not happy. 11 Mutalisks have gone down already so far. It is a bit of a rogue strategy where you make a lot of mutas, you lose all your mutas, but you win the game anyway. At least that's what Serral's trying to do. It's very hard to pull off if you're not rogue. It's kind of rogue's personal style. Neural Parasite on the way. Loving some of that stuff. 3-3 for the MECH on the way for Maru at 12 minutes. Insane upgrade timings for Maru, but he's one of the 4 horsemen. What else do we expect? Oh, the mutas getting caught out a little bit. Oh my gosh, mutas dying everywhere. That is 14 Mutalisks what have died. The battle cruisers keep rolling. There's another attack in here. Does get 4 SCV. It's just the Locust waves, man. That's all it is. Mutas get into the 5th base of Maru. Oh, there's only 1 turret here. That's not going to be enough. Planetary under attack. Battle cruisers on the other side. Getting work done, though. Queen down, and these queens are falling quickly. Spores are trying to tickle the BCs as much as they can, but they're not really... I mean, eventually Spore Crawler shots will take one down. It just takes forever. All right, another launch of Swarm Host coming in. We'll watch this one. We'll make sure we get it. That poor Cyclone was way too far on creep to stay alive. And then just trying to drop the Locust down and tank down. Yeah, 2 tanks down. That's about it. Which, hey, reducing that tank count is nice. Not going to complain about it all that much. Oh, battlecruisers took this hatch down. Well done, guys. That's what you need to be doing. Again, if you're going to beat a Zerg player, you need to make sure that their hatcheries are dying. That's exactly how this works. So 185 to 183 supply here. Meching Maru versus the Serral. Thor's in production. I already have a bunch of Thors out already again. Generally to try to help deal with the mutas, as we're seeing here. Woo! Muta dies, so that's splash damage. That's only +2 as well. +3 makes them a lot more deadly. Here on the Locust. Battlecruiser's trying to thin the numbers out a little bit. Thor's trying to thin them out too. A bunch of the Locust land, but a bunch of them do die before they connect. Missile turret down, and that's about it there. Blue Flame Hellbats are also a great answer to Locusts. You'll notice we're not making any more Swarm Hosts, right? We've got 15 of them. That's enough. Maybe if he loses a few, he'll replace them, but he's not going for 20. He's not going for 30. This is it. He's making Corruptors with the rest of his supply. Maybe for some Broodlords. Maybe just to try to deal with these BCs. This is a nice combo. I mean, this is looking at +3 attack tanks and Thors, Hellbats in the mix. This is more traditional mechy stuff. The Mutas... Taking Widowmine hits, hiding behind that refinery. Sick placement. Mutas really want to take down that Ghost Academy. Can they? I don't know. Locust jumping. Oh, man, a really entrenched position here. But Banelings are trying to get those Hellbats, so the Locusts are more effective. Sick positioning, actually. A Thor goes down, a Thor goes down, another Thor goes down. Crocobile takes down a Siege Tank, and the Ravagers are a beautiful addition to this composition. Will this Thor get out of here? No, he's not. He's too fat to live. Bam. One Ravager down, but a Thor is a fair trade for the Zerg player. Nidus Network coming on in. We got another attack up the right side. Roach is defending with that. So we're seeing a bit more Roach Ravager play. Oh, the Swarm Host get caught out. Yamato! Swarm Host count reduced. There's only 7 remaining. That means 8 of them have died since the last time I checked that number not too long ago. That's crazy. Also, what the heck are these Hellions? Okay, well, those Hellions. YOLO Hellions. Corruptor Ball shows up. BCs jump out. How many BCs have died today? None? 0. 4 Thors have died. Yeah. 7 Siege Tanks. 21,000 resources lost for Serral and 16,000. Just about 17,000 rather for Le Maru. Nidus Worm explodes. Got ourselves a big Ravager Ball with Corruptor support here. Kind of like that. The Ravagers trade pretty well against things like Siege Tanks and Thors, with Corrosive Biles raining down on these fairly slower, immobile units, but nah. Decides to back on out. Force the lift on that base, but that's about it there. Were there battle cruisers on this left side, or was I imagining that? I don't know. Maru taking this bottom right base, upgrading to a planetary. Fantastic job by him. And Locust going all the way into the main base. All right. I mean, I guess there's not a whole lot of defense here. But, man, you're just running out of time. They're giving vision for a Nidus Worm to come up. That's fun. Widow Mines firing on those Locusts, causing all sorts of problems. Missile turret sniped, because why not? Nidus Worm explodes. Serral coming down the right side. That's a Baneling bust on that planetary. No question about it. Ghosts are out, which are very important in the late game versus Zerg. Exactly. Maru knows. Even if you're going mech, having Ghosts is nice because their abilities don't require upgrades. Their basic attack isn't really what you need. You need snipe, right? Big time snipes, also known as steady targeting, but it also very much functions as a snipe. Infestor on the way. We got Neural Parasite. Might as well get an Infestor or two, I suppose. Serral expanding top left. He's already expanded along the right side. Another swarm of Locusts coming into this third base of Maru, which has been very beset today. And again, traditionally, the player that spends most of the time on defense is the one that ends up losing in the end. It's just extremely, extremely difficult. Yo, that was friendly fire tank splash more than anything else. To win when you're just on the back foot, losing bases, losing workers consistently over time. That said, Maru's doing his best not to just sit back and run, right? He gets beautiful, loses a battle cruiser, but does take the hatch down. Ravagers face mashing directly in, taking down a tank with Corrosive Bile. Another takes hits, but that's about it. Ghost thinking about chasing these Ravagers down, decide not to move out too far into the other side of the map. So yeah, that's just why Maru's trying to poke in. He is sniping bases. He is killing drones. 3 hatcheries have gone down. 14 drones have gone down. Is 14 enough? I don't know. Does it really matter as much sometimes? How many drones go down for a Zerg player? Sometimes somebody like Raynor can lose as many as, 40, 50 and just be okay. Terran can do that too, though. I don't feel too bad for them. Like, Terran can definitely lose upwards of 80 workers and still win the game. Just because at this stage of the game, they start pumping out a bunch of orbitals, right? Orbital, orbital, orbital. It's for the mules. For the mule play and for the comm stat and whatnot. And then you just call down a ton of mules for your mineral income rather than using SCVs, which take up supply, which means you have a bigger army than otherwise because mules don't take that supply up. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful synology. Beautiful synthesis. Is the word I'm going for, I'm going to say. Trying to get missile turrets down with those Ravagers. Bottom right base for Maru coming up. There is a double Nidus Worm along the right side, intriguingly enough. Scan says, all right, we're not going to sit here too long. Let's Nidus and pop out on the right side. Yes, beautiful. Pop back into the Nidus Worm. Go. I was waiting for that one to pop so we can go in. Once again, battle cruisers thinning that Locust number out fairly effectively, but they're just finding little bits of damage everywhere. They take down a missile turret. They weaken this planetary fortress a little bit. I mean, any damage is going to be good damage in this situation, as always. More Ghosts on the way. And yeah, you'll notice it's not really Swarm Host anymore, right? It's 9 Swarm Hosts. He hasn't bothered to replace the ones that died. It's Ravager Baneling. Neural Parasite getting tossed down as well. Battle cruisers trying to fire away, but the Neural Parasite is sticking on these Thors. They're getting big time hits on the battle cruisers. They're killing Beast season, finally it wears off. The EMP gets tossed down. The fungal means he can't chase me very well, and the infestors split off into the night. Cheese it! It's the popo. Get on out of there, and they do. Top left base of Serral getting saturated quite nicely. The income tab is looking up and down as mules usually make it look when there's a Terran involved in a match. This right side base of Serral's, the 3 o'clock goes down to battlecruiser play. Absolutely insane. The Locusts are just finding what damage they can. This third base has been beset all day. The siege tank is going to die. By that I mean the sensor tower is going to die. The Locusts don't even care about the tank. Like, the tank's secondary, man. We'll take the tank down, I guess, later. This tank's got 41 kills, though. 41 kills. Another Knight is coming up for Serral inside the main. Immediate jump to that position. Maru's map awareness and just able to see little red dots is just so good. Nidus Worm dies before it even comes close to fully forming here. But yeah, Serral, Corruptor, Baneling, Ravager. These are the pieces he's using right now. And I mean, you force a liftoff on command centers. The Corruptors are more than happy about that. I mean, we're just looking at a dead command center unless it can be saved. Planetary Fortress pops too. 17 more SCVs die. That is a total of 80. There's your 80 SCVs dead. Can Maru still win this? He's popping left. He's heading up left. He's going to take down that hatchery. He's got a Thor on the high ground. He might take down this hatchery too. A lot of drones are dying. Serral's army's in completely out in the wrong position here. Can that Thor and the siege tanks take down this hatch? And while this hatch dies, doing a 2-for-1 is not bad for Maru here. 15 drones go down. These drones hanging out. No, there's a Hellbat in here. Roasted, get out of there, drones. Why aren't you running more? Serral not paying attention to his workers all that much. Finally saves him. That Hellbat's got 11 kills though before he goes down. He definitely was worth it. Wow. Oh, then we run the drones back into the war zone. Serral getting a little bit sloppy here. I don't know how I feel about this. If you're a Serral fan, 46 drones have gone down now and 6 hatcheries. But guess what upgrade does exist? And by that I mean it doesn't exist. We are not getting Adrenal. Serral, we gotta look at it real quick. Parasite, flyer, +2 attack melee. No, he's got +3 missile attack. He's not getting adrenal glands today. I don't know what Serral's deal is about not getting adrenal glands, but at least today he's only made 38. Okay, he's only made 200 Zerglings instead of like 1,000, and not gotten adrenal. This feels more logical. But here comes the Ling Bane Ravager. This third base has just been sight of so much Zerg death and so much Terran death, and it's just, man. Ghost count's pretty scary, man. I gotta say, Ghost count's at 17. Oh, Neural Parasite EMP! Sick plays from Serral. He Neural Parasites one of the Ghost, EMPs his buddies. Most of them don't have enough energy to do anything anymore. That was so crazy good. Dude, that's so hard to do, too. Maru coming up the right side, causing all sorts of problems at that 3 o'clock base again. This tank with 57 kills is finally going to die. But Serral's got to be like, these Lings are not attacking as fast as I want them to. Do I care? Apparently not. Yes, Planetary dead. That is so many Broodlings. They don't have +3 attack. That's +2 attack on those guys. On the other side, hatch down. Maybe another hatch down as there are Hellbats attacking. Siege tanks attacking. Army value is 148 to 124 in favor of Maru right now. He's looking pretty good. Nobody's got much of a bank. I mean, this base survives, but there's really not much by way of minerals here. And then up the left side again. This game is getting an epic tag. Absolutely insane plays. 14 more drones go down. 8 hatcheries have died today. 8. 63 drones, 4 planetaries, 80 SCVs. This is insanely good. Corrosive Bile's good against tanks. That's what Serral's been relying on more heavily here today. He's making 4 Zerglings. The Thors are good against Broodlords, but not when it's, oh my gosh, the Broodlord count. Not when it's 13 to 1. Like, the Thors are good, they're not that good. Like, in general, Banelings are great, but not when it's 1 Baneling against, 13 Marines. Nope. Same story. Broodlord's on the warpath. Where did those battle cruisers go, and why are they dead? And when did I miss that? I guess it was during that engagement up on this high ground, wasn't it? Tanks heading up the left side. Not sure if there's any for them thing to kill down there. And these are the new sources of income for Maru. Maru gets fungled. Running away is harder when you're fungled. You're just slowed. Siege tanks can't run anyway. They're going down. Another hatchery dies for this group for Maru. Looking pretty good, man. Broodlord shelling away at this high ground base. I think Maru, he's just getting squeezed too much. Serral's only got this base of income, man. He's trying to retake that 3 o'clock. Can he? I don't know. He's on the offensive, which is nice. Dude, but seriously, Adrenal... It's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. Can Serral break the curse of forgetting Adrenal or not getting Adrenal and losing DVTs? Maybe. I love this Roach. He's like, I got this. Oh, hang on, hang on. Nope, hatch down. Dude, that's 10 hatcheries killed. If you kill 10 hatcheries in a ZVT, there's like an 80% chance that you win the game. I like the fungal on the siege tank. Like, I gotta get some kind of damage on it. But I mean, at the same time, if you lose 4 planetaries and 3 command centers and a bunch of orbitals too, by that I mean 0 orbitals have died? That seems wrong. Really? Okay. 0 orbitals have died today, including this 3rd base, which is fair, I guess. Army value 131 to 126. Maru has reestablished this 4th base. He's retaken the bottom right is back too. This is insane. He's trying. He's really trying his best here. The Broodlords are firing away. The Vikings are trying to get hits off on those Broodlords. Pretty good at it. Snipes trying to happen. The Fungals are interrupting the cast, though. And bam! Maru comes out on top. Serral, GG's out. And Maru gets the win over one of his worst nemesis in the entire world. What a beautiful game from Maru. Like I said, man, getting 10 hatcheries killed is an 80% chance of winning in a CVT, even if it's Serral, yo. Even if it's Serral. He lost 102 SCVs, won the game. What'd I say about that? Terrans can afford to lose a ton of workers and still win the game. He ended up with 45 SCVs. Whew, and only 29 drones for Serral. The income tab's looking like that. It's largely blue for the last 5 minutes and very blue at the end of the game. Serral knew there were just too many ghosts, too many Thors. His Broodlords were dying like crazy. His army at the end of the game was exactly 8 Broodlords, 7 Ravagers. It feels a little bit premature, but 13 ghosts is insane. And 10 Thors! 10 Thors is exactly what you want against that many Broodlords. Beautiful. Just an absolutely fantastic, epic level ZVT between these two players. What else do we expect from these two players when they meet up, though, right? Is there anything else we expect? No! We expect epic. My goodness. Just a bloodbath on both sides. A total of 165 workers died today. A total of 10 plus 4 is 14 plus 3 is 17. 17 bases went down on this day. 22 siege tanks, 5 battle cruisers, 16 all swarm hosts went down. Understandably so. And the MECH is the better of Serral, and Serral doesn't get adrenal glands. Is it fair to say he might win this game if he has adrenal glands? Question mark. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's not fair to say that. Oh, simultaneous Ravager deaths. Thanks to that snipe there. And then, look, the fungal does interrupt the casting on some of the ghosts, but not all of them. Look at that. He's actually retreating out. Like, Maru's pulling... I gotta get that very last snapshot. Sorry, stick with me for a minute. Yeah, the Thors up the left side are largely untouched. Snipe, snipe, snipe. The Ravagers coming in the left side. The Thors are just sitting back. There's your GG timing. And yeah, I mean, the Thors are just chewing up broodlings. I mean, these are not necessarily healthy broodlords. 1, 2 of them have gone. 2 of them very red. 1 of them's on orange. These Thors just kind of sitting on the other side. I mean, 115 to 84 army supply is a problem. Serral's got this base rolling, but this one's dead. It doesn't have anything on the left side at all. It's a tiny bit premature, but I think Maru is able to handle these Broodlords and then kind of counterattack, and Serral's got 87 minerals on the bank, and there's just not there's not a way to return from that situation, right? So Serral knows. Serral's got the game sense to recognize when he's been beat. And just no adrenal glands again. The curse continues. That Thor has 10,000 HP. Just kidding. That's because the game is over. Everything has 10,000 HP. Even these broodlings have 10,000 HP. Imagine if everything in the game had 10,000 HP. It'd be a little bit more like Warcraft 3, if you've ever played that before, where everything's incredible tanky and killing stuff takes forever. I do like StarCraft 2 more for that reason, where things are squishier, and it just feels more satisfying battles for that way, right? Anyway, fantastic epic levels EVT. Maru gets the win against the hated Serral. For anyone who is a Terran player, Serral tears through your ranks, and this is one of those losses. Man. All right, good stuff. So that right there is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and an epic match. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.